Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest is an illustrator behind some of the most memorable covers of Give Yourself Goosebumps, from book 25, Shop Until You Drop Dead, through book 42, All Day Nightmare. He's helped define the look of the series in later years. What makes his work stand out is not just the creepy, eye-catching art, but how it's blended digital techniques with classic horror book ethics to bring Goosebumps covers into a new era. We'll dive into the creative process, how he approaches the storytelling through visuals, and what it's like taking over the mantle from previous cover artists from this beloved children's horror series. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest, Craig White. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm very good, Ox. Thanks. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. No,
That's a nice thing to say.
I have to work it in. I tell everyone that, I have a couple of people. I had Tim Jacobus, and, I had a nice little intro for him, and he's like, man, that sounds pretty good. I'm like, sometimes, I mess it up, sometimes I don't. It really depends on how the flow is. And I think for the most part, the flow was nice. How's
Yeah.
everything, Craig, man?
Very good. Very good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well,
Awesome. Yeah.
it's mid-September. September's going by so quick, and then we have spooky season, we have holiday, we have, Halloween, and for Halloween, like I said, we talked before, I have an 8 and 5-year-old. We kind of skip because Halloween's so expensive, like buying like things decorating, like we start decorating really early. Like so already half of my stuff already for Halloween. The living room is already covered with Lost Boys poster, Halloween poster, Chucky. My wife's a big fan of Chucky, and we have all those posters up, and it's expensive, man. Do you do anything for Halloween, and how's that go, especially being
Um,
part of the Goosebumps universe?
yeah. Well, my wife, at one point, my
Mhm.
daughter was probably, she's 19 now. She was probably about 5 or 6. And we started doing an annual Halloween party here at the house. So it was like, and everybody knew about it in the neighborhood. They would always come, and I mean we'd have 50, 60 people, and we always had like contests, like Halloween contests, so that our house was always decked out for Halloween. And it's now that my daughter's in school, probably not as much stuff to be out, but we still have a garage full of stuff that we're going to be putting out for sure. Yeah, it's fun.
Definitely.
I really enjoy
Yeah,
it.
definitely. And especially knowing that, you are behind some of the cover art for the Goosebumps. I mean, I can only imagine that's
Aw.
when, like the requests start happening, right? For hey, can you do this cover art, or can you do what is your most kind of like random, I guess, like someone that asks for something like randomly.
You mean like for drawings, you
Yeah,
think
like for
something?
a drawing, like has there been any strange requests? There had to be something, no?
Nothing too crazy.
That's good. Yeah, I
Yeah,
might I might give you something later
that's
to
all
talk
right.
about. It's
That's all
like,
right. No, it's all good. I've been doing a lot of like people requesting if they want covers or just sketches of certain ideas or stuff like that, and they're always really cool. And
mhm,
it's really stuff that I wouldn't think of. Like, can
mhm.
you mishmash this with that and the other? And I'm like, sure. And sometimes I have to look up the characters. I'm like, I'm not sure what you want, but I'll look it up. And um, so nothing really too crazy, but yeah, bring it on. I'm ready.
Yeah, yeah, man. Like I said, I had Tim Jacobus on, right? And we talked, and I told him like, hey, I know this is not your style. You don't really do caricatures, right? Like, but I would like to be like if I was inside of a Goosebumps cover. I always wanted to do that. And he's like, well, we'll try. I'll give it a shot. It'll be fun. I go, okay, man. And then he came up with something. And then again, I loved it. Like this was Tim's drawing.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. That's awesome.
So I was
Uh,
like, man, you kind of made me look like a Mexican, but it's good. I like it. And then
It's cool.
I loved it. Like I said, I'm actually wearing the shirt that I sent him a picture of
Yeah,
and yeah, it's great. Like it had
dude,
Slappy,
that's
and like
awesome.
I said, it was perfect because
Yeah.
it looks like its own Goosebumps cover. And I
Right. Yeah, for sure. Totally.
yeah,
I
I,
love
I
it. That's
met
great.
I met Tim a couple times, and every time he's a cool guy. Like I said,
Right.
we're I'm diehard Yankee fan, so we talked a little bit about sports and the Knicks. and the Yankees and stuff like that. So, but it was a cool drawing. And have you worked with him before or no?
No, well, we did something recently where we just did
Okay.
a kind of a three he and Mark and I did this
Okay.
illustration where this I wish I knew who sent it around and I can't remember, but um so that's the only time, and I've never met him face to face. He's going to be at the Comic Con, which will be cool. So
Hmm.
but what a hilarious guy he is. He's really funny. I mean, he's just like everything he says, it just cracks me up. And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, he is pretty
super
funny.
nice guy.
And while we were talking in the interview, I go, yeah, we said something about like, oh yeah, about people at requesting some. I go, yeah, who would know that some asshole would want you to draw themselves? He goes, I know, right? He's like, I'm actually staring at you on my other screen because he actually had the drawing put up that he was working on. It was pretty
Oh,
funny,
funny.
but yeah. But that's crazy that you guys never ever kind of
Yeah,
cross
and
paths.
yeah, even back in the day, I mean, I
Mhm.
knew who he was when I was working on the stuff, but I didn't know him personally. I mean, he had the whole long hair and the whole
Yep.
the surfer vibe kind of thing going on, rocker vibe or whatever. Uh, but yeah, I didn't know him, and I didn't know Mark either until recently. We kind of all just kind of met each other, and what great people they are, both of them. Really.
Definitely. And then the cool thing is, if people don't know, next week is right now it's what September 19th. You're gonna be in San Antonio. It's kind of like
Yeah,
a whole group of everyone
yeah.
Goosebumps, right?
Yeah, Curse City Con. So they're doing I think they're doing it's a Goosebumps kind of themed convention, and it's going to be great. We're really looking forward to it. I I didn't we for the first time ever in my career, I'm like, okay, my wife's like, you got to do merch, and I'm like, okay. So we're bringing T-shirts and
Cool.
prints and stuff like that, and sketches, and so yeah, and then it'll be on a couple of panels, I think. So it'll be
Nice.
fun. I'm looking forward
Nice.
to it. I
Nice.
love meeting people. This is so much fun. I've been having a blast lately. It's been really cool.
And this is not obviously not your first con, I'm assuming.
Yeah, first one I've
Oh, it
been, yeah,
is.
yeah,
Cool,
been
cool. So
not attended, but been asked to go, so that was cool.
gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, it's very interesting. Like especially Goosebumps has a very die-hard fan base, not only with like people like me that grew up watching the series, but then you have people that pass down to their children and stuff. So you
Yeah.
have that, and these people show up, man. Let me tell you, I went to see R.L. Stine. He had it was in California. And he had a signing. It was kind of like a discussion, and then after he could sign your book, and it
Cool.
was free, and it was in the library. And let me tell you, I got there that same day, and the line was ridiculous. It started at 5. The line was down the hall,
Oh my
wrapped
gosh.
around the building at 2:30. And I was like, oh my God. Like I thought I was gonna be like the first two or three
Wow.
people ahead, and I was like, oh shit, like I messed up. Because I was at the beach. I was in Laguna Beach because it was Laguna Beach. So I went to the
Oh
Laguna
yeah.
Beach, I hung out, I had some food, and I was like, you know what? It should be time. And then I remember calling the library and they're like, yeah, you should start heading out there. It's like there's people. I'm like, are you kidding me? And
Wow.
it was a long night, man. Like, it
Oh
was a long night, but again, meeting him, it was awesome. And Arlstein, have you obviously met Arlstein or no? No?
no, I haven't. No, he's going to be at the convention too. This will be the first
Yep.
time meeting everybody. It's going to be
Oh,
great.
wow.
Yeah,
That
very
is
cool.
crazy. And you would think, from the outside perspective that someone like, okay, well, you did the covers of the book. You should have met him a million times. And sometimes it doesn't work like that,
Yeah,
like
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
crazy,
yeah.
crazy. But I hope you have fun. Unfortunately,
Thanks,
I won't
man.
be there.
Oh, that's a
I'd love
bummer.
to, but work calls and
Sure, man. Yeah, that's cool.
but
That's cool.
let's talk a little bit about your background. I know that you are a twin, which is pretty
Hmm.
cool, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what first inspired you to become an illustrator, particularly in the horror thriller genre like Goosebumps? Was that your
Well, I think that when we first started, or when I first started, kind of I was doing more superhero stuff
okay?
for I was doing trading cards digitally. I've always had an interest in the horror stuff from when I
Mhm.
was kid. My brother and I, we were like I was telling somebody, we used to have Fangoria magazine. I don't know if you know what that is, but
Yeah, I do.
it was like, and it would come, and at first they were come in the mail. This is way back before the internet, and they were like, it was just the the screen, or I mean the paper, like the magazine cover,
Mhm.
and they were grotesque, right? After a while, they started shipping them with a piece of paper over the front because it
So
was
you
like,
block it out.
yeah, because my mother would get that and she'd go, "What is that?" So I've always been interested in it. My probably my trip to, oh my God, I forgot about this. I'm just remembering this now. My first remembrance of something that really scared the stuff out of me was my brother and I went to see this movie called oh my gosh, what was it? Oh, It's Alive. And it was Rick Baker was the guy that did the because I loved Star Wars and all that stuff. So he
Okay.
did the scared both of us to death for years. I mean, I would have nightmares about that thing. Um, but I was always into it. And then when I was doing digital trading cards, I was doing a lot of stuff for Marvel and Fleer, and then my agent said, "Hey, man, they want somebody to do these. Are you interested?" And I knew of the Goosebumps books, but I didn't really have any of them.
Hmm.
I always thought they were cool because it was a big deal back then.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I was like, "Sure, yeah, I'll do it," and it kind of just snowballed from there. That's the word I sort of fell into it in that way, as
Mhm.
professionally anyway.
Gotcha. Now,
Yeah.
were you always, because I think Tim told me like he was always into just he drew all the time. He's like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
was it just something that you just it was like came natural to you?
Yeah, something that we always did that. My brother and I both were like that all the time. We were always drawing for as far as I can remember, man. As
Really?
far as I can remember, it was just like just we were always doing something creative like that.
I really envy like people that can just like man, there was one kid in seventh grade that he would just that's all he did was draw. And let me tell you, Craig, the only thing I know how to draw, and it's been like this since like fourth grade. And I drew this for Tim. And if you pull up a video, and like I said, this is a blank sheet of paper. I'm about to draw you what I always draw, and it comes out the same every time. Sometimes the ears are a little bit, and it's not, I promise you, it's not a stick figure. Look, I messed up already, but look, this is the only thing I always draw since I was like little, and it never changes. Here it is. Talk about superheroes. It's my Batman. That's it.
Hey,
Look,
I love
ears
it.
are jacked up, but this is it.
No, that's good, man.
You don't have to lie, Craig. You don't have to
No, hey,
lie.
at least you know what people can know. That's Batman, man. It's not
That's
like
it.
yeah.
That's the
The worst
closest I'll ever get.
Oh, that's good, man. Well, the worst comment you can get as an artist is, "What's that supposed to be?" So,
Okay.
other than that, yeah, see, you got it. You already nailed it. You know, it's Batman. It's all
Yeah,
good.
I mean, okay. That makes me feel a little bit better because people are like, "Who drew that?" Like a 3-year-old draw that. I'm like, no, it's Batman, you know. But that's so
It's
that's the
good. I
closest
like it.
I ever get to it. And like I said, it doesn't change. I've been doing that. I don't know who taught me that, but that's kind of just the way I went with it. And it
It's
is what it is,
classic.
man. So, but it is.
I
Uh,
like it.
can you share your journey and how you got started in freelance or professional illustration? You said, like you said, you kind of just went into it blindly, and what brought you into Goosebumps style material?
Well, when I first started out, I was an art director at like an
Okay.
ad agency. So, but I always kind of knew how to draw, and I back then I didn't really have an idea of how to make a living as an illustrator.
Okay.
And then so I did that for several years, and then when that whole thing with the trading cards came up, it allowed me to like quit my job and
Oh
do
wow.
it full time. So that's when I started freelancing. So I've been freelancing for a long time. But those trading cards kind of allowed me to become independent artist and just work from home. So um, yeah, and so it's been I've been kind of doing this for a long time, and but I love it, love it, love it.
Have you dabbled back into the trading card stuff or no?
No, I mean, if they ever came to me and said, "Hey, would
Mhm.
you want to do more?" I'd be like, "Sure, yeah." But there's so many talented people out there right now. I mean, it's amazing. You know, the talent pool since the internet came along has just exploded. I mean,
Yeah.
there's people all over the world doing amazing, amazing work that I'm just disgusted and jealous. And, I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that. I can't do that. It's crazy,
Uh, no.
crazy. But
When you began illustrating a character or cover, what's the process from conception to final artwork? So
okay.
how's that process, if you could?
So when I was doing the Goosebumps covers or just now in general?
Let's just say you can add goosebumps, but just like in general.
Okay.
Okay.
In general, it basically just come up with a concept, and then if it's if it's professional, it's from a
Mhm.
client that has something they have an idea what they want,
Okay.
and then they'll say, I want XYZ, and then I'll sit down and start sketching stuff out on pieces of paper, sometimes with my iPad, and
Okay.
then get some sketches that look decent, and then send them to the client, and the client will say, "Hey, this is cool," or can you change this or whatever, and then we get to the point where it's after that sketches are approved in color, and then revisions,
Mhm.
and then approval, hopefully by then. So yeah,
And
that's basically
it's
in a
pretty much
nutshell.
the same process for you. Like you
Yep.
kind of stick to that template.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's even what when back in the day when I was doing the Goosebumps stuff, that's what it was like. They would have an idea, send you like a synopsis of what they wanted, and then I would do sketches and then send them, and they would say yes, no, maybe, or change this, change that, and then start working on the color stuff. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, because I remember Tim saying that sometimes he would get maybe a paragraph, maybe sometimes he would get a sentence.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty much it, and you kind of go, I'm like, well, is it easier for you to have like an idea, or kind of you like kind of just kind of roaming and letting your like ideas kind of flutter and stuff?
That's a good question. Sometimes I prefer to have
A
it kind
structure.
of spelled out, and then sometimes I'm working on something right now where me and my agent were talking about something not too long ago, and he was giving me ideas about what the client wanted, and I'm sort of visualizing stuff as he's saying, just kind of not super clear, but getting an idea.
Hmm.
And then at the same time, I'm kind of thinking, well, what if we did this instead or in addition to? So sometimes it works both ways. Sometimes they give you something and it's like, oh, okay, that's perfect. And then sometimes you go, that's cool, but maybe we can do something a little bit different. So yeah,
Gotcha.
it's kind of mixed. It's a mixed bag. It's a stupid answer, but it's just kind of like the
No,
way
no,
it
no.
works.
I mean, it makes sense. Like it kind of, it just whatever flows or whatever, and you kind of feel it, right? You kind of feel like,
Yeah,
that's a little too much, or I'm
yeah,
over.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
how do you decide on color palettes, lighting, and composure to evoke suspense or fear without overdoing it?
Oh, that's another good question. These are great questions. Mostly it starts with, if it's a time of day or if it's, that kind of a thing, if it's nighttime or whatever. And then I always tried, and my brother and I both did this way back in the day, trying to stay away from or trying to use more contrasting shadows. Like if you look at some of my artwork, you'll see that some of the shadows are not like if let's say a character is green, the
Hmm.
shadows aren't necessarily dark green. They'll be like reddish color. So where you can, a lot of illust or artists will take their color palette, whatever, and they call it local color, which is whatever something
Okay.
is, like if it's blue. And then they'll make dark blue, when it comes to the
Hmm.
shadows. We've always tried to like throw in another color to make it pop a little bit more. So if you look at some of my covers, you'll see that the colors, the shadow colors are a little bit different. So that kind of dictates how your what the feel of what you're trying to do is. But usually time of day, if it's interior or exterior or whatever, but that kind of dictates a lot of what you're going to do.
Would you say that that was kind of like almost like your own little spin? Like, you know how every artist has their unique way of doing something? Would that be something like that you would say
I
would be your
It's
trick?
definitely a stylistic choice for sure. Yeah, because I love all different kinds of artwork from
Hmm.
colors that are real muted, and I like stuff that's really bright and crazy looking. So I don't particularly like one particular style, but if it
Okay.
suits what I'm doing, that's usually what I'll do. So yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. Now let's talk a little bit about this. This one is one of the questions where I'm like, man, this is a good one. What tools and media do you prefer? Digital, traditional, mixed media, and why?
I should have done my homework, man. These are all excellent. Um, Man, I can't even tell you honestly. I prefer doing everything.
Okay.
And I think I love getting out the pencils and paper and ink actually. I just started inking again, like comic book inking, you know?
Mhm.
And I love the permanence of that. Like you put a line down and you're stuck with it, right? So you got to think about what you're going to do before you do it. And the
Mhm.
digital, I can make changes and resize stuff. And yeah, so there's a bit of a cheat with the digital stuff, but I still like the portability of the digital. Like I can take my iPad anywhere and do sketches and actually do finished artwork on the iPad. So that's kind of the lazy part of me that
Mhm.
thinks that way. But I do. I mean, I love pencils and paper, and you know, I still find that very exciting. Going to art stores, like, oh, I'll be there for an hour. So
Well, now compared to your like profession now, like is it more now focused on like since it's like, it's 2025, right? Everyone has an iPad. My kids are playing with their iPads right now. Is it more iPad more than pencil heavy, paper
yeah,
heavy?
definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Does it take away from, I guess, how do I put this? Like, does it take away from not the artwork, but just the process, I guess, of I feel like it.
Yeah, I think yeah, there's definitely a disconnect in that thing that I was talking about where you can just start over really quickly
Mhm.
without even erasing anything. Um but I definitely think that that is the way of the future. My daughter's in college now, and she's an artist as well. And she filled up when she was younger. She filled up sketchbooks like in her room. I must have a stack of sketchbooks. It's probably 20 of sketchbooks, and she just filled them up with paper and pencil. But now she does everything on the iPad because it's so portable, and you don't have to worry about breaking lead and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
I think it's just like it's a tool, an iPad or a piece of paper. It's all part of your tool set. So
Yeah,
if you can draw with a piece of paper and a pencil, then you can draw on an iPad, same kind of thing, and vice versa, I think. So,
definitely. I
yeah,
just feel like, especially like if you look at stuff like books, right? Like it's so much different going to the store and actually getting a physical book than
yeah,
having. I get the convenience of having a
yeah,
tablet or something and you can
yeah,
read that, but it just the smell of the paper, the
yeah.
feel of it, it's some that it sucks, but I get it, you know.
Yeah, no,
The day
I
and age,
totally,
man. So
yeah, I agree. I love going to the bookstore too. I'm like, that's another place I'll be lost for hours and like,
yep,
oh, where did he
definitely.
go? Well, he's in, I don't know. So, yeah.
Um, so talking about, publishers and editors, how do you handle feedback from publishers slash editors when they want changes that might compromise your original vision?
Man, your interviewers are awesome. How do you, let's see. Well, you
It's
try and
different,
convince
right?
them. What's
Oh,
that?
you're
I'm
trying
sorry.
to convince them? Okay, I like that one.
Yeah, try and convince them otherwise.
Uh-huh.
I have learned though, if you send something to an art director that you don't really like, they'll probably pick the one you don't really like. So try not to dislike too much stuff that you send them.
That's fun.
Um, sometimes and I think as an artist and being it is a business. I've done this for a
Hmm.
long time and it's how I make a living. And so they're paying the bills, so you got to make them happy, right? And I think the kind of the way to get your I'm gonna say to make you happy and make them happy is to be able to do maybe you do their design and then do another one that says, "Hey, what do you think about this one? This is cool too, right?"
Yeah, gotcha.
So yeah, so that's kind of how you dance around that. But
Mhm.
I was never an artist that was like too precious with their work. Like I was like, "Gosh, they want to make a change." I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Okay.
There are plenty of people out there who are like, no, I'm not gonna, and I'm like, that's cool, but you might not be working. So, I've
Yeah.
always realized that they got to pay the bills. So,
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool.
yeah.
How do you approach designing a character or monster so that they fit the original but still feel like they belong in the Goosebumps universe?
Man, well,
Because I mean,
starting out with,
you've done a bunch, right? You've done skeletons, you've done werewolves, you've done aliens.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I try and kind of find, see what's been recorded. I mean, not
okay.
recorded, that's been done, and then kind of do my take on it, you know.
Mhm.
Like a lot of these drawings, like I said, I was telling somebody I never really drew Slappy or Curly or any of those characters for the series. And so when people say, "Can you put Curly in there or Slappy?" and I'm like, "Cool." And I'm like, "Oh, so I got to look up a lot of reference, right?" And then, I think I was telling Tim even, it's like, I can't draw Slappy. I mean, like, I don't know what it is about that character, but it's hard for me to draw him.
Facts.
And yeah, he does them really good. And it's like, and it's simplified. And mine looks always like, I don't know. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. I'm better than I used to be, but
Mhm.
yeah, so I try and kind of just find as much reference, especially in the Goosebumps world, to stick with and kind of fit it in. So yeah.
Um, so this is a good one here. Goosebumps has a certain tone, right? Spooky but often campy,
Yep.
accessible to younger readers. How does that affect things like detail, gore, or horror level in your illustrations? Because again, you don't want, and that was something with Tim, and I remember him talking about. I think it was "Stay Out of the Basement" that he didn't do. Like they said, it was you know they had to pick between two of the illustrators, but they didn't want it to. They don't want to scare the kids. They want to sell the
Yeah.
books. They don't want to
Right.
scare the kids.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that.
Man, yeah, I think with me, when I was doing the covers back then, I just I didn't want to do anything that was too scary or too gross or too scary that still had that kind of campy feel to it. That was the one that's I think one of the scariest ones that I did is the ones with the werewolves or the wolves at the bottom of the tree, and I can't remember the name of what it's called.
That's the last one you did, which was the All Day Nightmare.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that one they're really angry looking,
Yeah.
and I was I don't know if as you do work, you kind of evolve it as it goes along, and
Okay.
you it's like I kind of equate it to like bands and music. They're not going to put out the same album every year. They're going to push it a little bit
A
different
little
each
different.
time, right? So mix it up a little bit, and you're also influenced by what you see around you and what you hear. Um, but yeah, that's a good question. I wasn't super conscious of it, but I never did anything that would scare me. So I was like,
Gotcha.
okay.
Nice. All right, here's something that's kind of uh I think it was a fun question. Um, which cover art from the classic series do you think is the creepiest of all time?
I mean, I know it's probably going to be like everybody's going to say this, but the haunted mask one
Unmasked.
I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
And like the whole idea of that is creepy to me. It's like, yeah, that's pretty whack. Um, yeah, that's one that stands out for me for sure. Yeah.
Definitely. And I think the hearing the behind the story of how, Tim came up with the idea of having his I think it was his niece put on the mask and like that. It's an awesome uh little story. If you had to design your own Goosebumps villain, what would they look like?
Oh man. I love these questions. They're so awesome. What would I do? Um,
Well, let's go with this, right? What do you like to draw the most? Like, is it because I think that was another question I had. Yeah. What is harder for you to draw? Haunted house, haunted dolls, slimy monsters, or eerie ghouls? And again, that could be not only what is harder for you to draw, but what do you like to draw the most?
I like the slimy things I was telling somebody recently, and I love drawing tentacles. I love drawing slimy anything. Um, and I think that's one of my favorite covers that I did was it came from the internet, and it's this
Yeah,
guy here.
right there.
Um, yeah, and so I love the whole floppy thing. And I was telling somebody else too, like the things that kind of scares me, or not scares me, but that I find really creepy is the scarecrow kind of idea, the whole concept of walking,
Yep.
somebody walking that's
Yeah.
creepy walking. So if I was gonna do a villain, it'd probably be something creepy with lots of arms and legs and kind of gross, something
Nice.
like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So imagine you're trapped in a Goosebumps story. What's your survival strategy?
Oh my God. Holy moly. Look for a machete, probably. I don't know. If I'm being chased by something with a lots of arms and legs,
There you
probably
go.
yeah, look for a machete.
And oh, I like it.
Or ask RL to write me out, you
There
know.
you go. Write them out.
Yeah.
If you were designing a new Goosebumps cover, what would you consider the essentials?
Oh man. You know
So,
what I think is really cool nowadays, and the new covers that are coming out, and I wish I knew the guy's name that's doing them, and they're beautiful. I just love them.
mhm,
And they're like neon kind of colors with blacks and lots of blacks and stuff. So when I think about that, I think I would like to do something dark, like blacks and like the crazy wacky colors. I love the new work that they're doing. I think that's just amazing. And so probably black, lots of dark colors and tentacles.
tentacles,
Going back
tentacles,
to tentacles.
100%. Uh, here we go back to illustration part, right? This is something I wanted to cover as a profession is what do you see as the biggest misconception people have about illustration as a profession?
That it's easy, probably. I think people think that it's kind of like creative people in general. I think people have a tendency to think, "Oh, you love it, so therefore you just should do it not for free, but it
Hmm.
shouldn't be a way to make I mean, it should be a way to make a living, but I think when you propose to people that it takes you, even if it takes you 10 minutes to do something, but you've been practicing that your whole life up to this
Yeah,
point, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
so I think the value that we place on artwork is kind of a drag. Um, and I have a good friend of mine is a children's book author, and he has an illustrator that he works with, and I think they've done 4 or 5 books together. And I was just making fun of, or not making fun, but I was talking to him the other day, and we were joking about how the illustrators of the children's books
Hmm.
get like way down on the rung as far as notoriety. Like it's
Okay.
always written by Lucky, my buddy's name's Lucky Diaz, written by Lucky Diaz and then illustrated by Micah Player, and he's not like top billed, and we were talking about that, and I was like, it takes a lot longer probably to illustrate a children's book than it does to
Write
write
it,
one.
yeah.
But at the same time, without the words, she wouldn't have the book. So, I don't know. But that's the thing. I think creative people in general are a little bit undervalued in our society.
Definitely.
But
I,
I mean, everybody thinks, wow, you can draw. That's cool. And then you tell them how much you want for it, and they're like, oh, okay, thanks. See you later.
well, I mean, I don't think they realize, the time, you're right, time is precious, man.
Yeah, yeah,
And I don't think they realize how long, a piece could take,
yeah,
you think
yeah.
because you draw it and that's it. I mean,
Mm.
look, this Batman,
Hey,
cost.
man, I'll pay good money for that. No problem.
Yeah, the
Actually, I'm going to make you send that to me. That's awesome.
there we go. I'll sign it. The
You for
the
sure.
Batman will be better than the signature. I promise you that. But
That's right.
um, how has illustration? I know we talked a little bit about this in the industry changed most since you started, and what excites you or what worries you and about where it's headed?
Um,
Is
well,
it
obviously the
the
thing that's
AI,
changed the
right?
most is digital. Well, but digital, but the AI thing, yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. I'm hoping, well, at this point, it's sort of like a toy for a lot of people. Thankfully, all of my clients, my publishing clients, have said, do not use any AI in any artwork that you do for us, which is really cool. So I'm
Yeah.
like, sure, no problem. That's not a problem at all. Um, in regards to like, I mean, even idea generation, it's cool, but like
Mhm.
to use AI, and because I do a lot of photographic book covers as well,
Huh?
and they're like, you can't use AI in any way, shape, or form. I'm like, that's fine. I actually have clients that have had stuff done with the AI, and they got to the publishing part and someone called them out and said, hey, this is AI. And so they called me and said, can you redo this? And I'm like, sure, I can redo it. So, and I redo it traditionally, with
Gotcha.
um, so that part of the AI thing is it's kind of a drag. I'm trying to do like my brother has been teaching me kind of how to use AI in my job for idea generation, and I want to learn how to use it because like everybody's been saying, if you don't
Right?
know how to use it, you'll be left behind. So I want to learn because it's not going to go away.
Yeah,
Um,
at all. Not anytime.
yeah, it's not. But hopefully we'll still be valued. I mean, I hope as an artist. I mean, it's like I can't do anything else. I'm not good at anything else.
Mhm.
So
Do you feel like that situation in AI is kind of you're losing your value as an artist because of this? Because like you could have
not yet.
Joe Schmo that doesn't know anything about computers, do AI and come up with something, right? Like,
I know. It's crazy. Not yet anyway. I don't know. I mean, I wish I had an answer, and I'm hoping that my clients will continue to see the value of something created by a human who has, and that's the way, and I think I was talking to somebody else about this not too long ago. It was a neighbor of mine, and I'm not really interested in going to a movie or listening to music that was created by somebody typing in a prompt,
I agree.
It's kind of fun, right? Like you see other videos on Amazon, they're hilarious. I love some of them. They're really funny. And then, and I'm like, it's amazing and it's beautiful and it's wild. But do I want to, sit for 2 hours or even buy something that I know that to me, that has less value
Yeah,
as an
absolutely.
artist? And hopefully people, the average Joe or Josephine thinks that that's less value to them as well. But I mean, who knows? Everybody likes anything. So
Everyone's different, but I do agree with you on that part of value, right? Like this, the Tim Jacobus thing, like this is like value. Like he took
yeah.
his time. It wasn't. Can you guys stop, please? I'll leave. Huh? Okay. Go over there, Ian. Well, I'll come out now. See, I told you it was gonna happen. Like, I feel like that value, right? That value
Yeah.
is you can't put a price on that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like that's in my garage. It's hung. I know that the original Goosebumps, like that's cool,
Yeah.
and I get it, right? It's a shortcut to some people, but you can easily kind of like weed out like, okay, that's AI. Even
Yeah.
my son Ian, he's like, oh, that's AI. He's like, we're not watching this. It's AI. It's funny. He picks it up. It's crazy. Like
That's
there's
wild.
there's older people that are like, oh, look, like my mom all the time. Mom, it's not real. It's AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
My son will
Yeah.
get it. He's like, this is AI. What are you doing? She's like, oh, like it's
Exactly.
crazy. It's crazy,
That's so
man.
funny. That's true. Yeah.
These
Yeah.
kids,
I mean, I hope that people right now, I mean, like we can tell. And sometimes I was watching my brother sent me something the other day on Instagram and I was like,
man.
it was fascinating. I don't remember what it was, but it was obviously it was AI generated. And it takes talent to do that, just to put that all together and to make it work into something that's cool. I get it. But I really hope that, as a society, we still value artwork.
Absolutely. I agree. Um, Here we go. Next question. We're almost done with the question. I promise you.
No, it's all good. I'm loving this. This is wonderful.
Which project challenged you the most as an illustrator, and what did it teach you?
Man. Um, I guess we're gonna go with we're gonna go back to Goosebumps because that
Okay, go
makes
ahead.
the most sense. And I think the most challenging, well, the one that I really loved that was a good challenge was the one we were talking about, the the wolves at the bottom of the tree and all that stuff, because it was such an unusual perspective at the time. Um,
It was like a
and
POV shot, right? It's like you're
yeah, yeah,
climbing
exactly.
up, and,
Yeah.
and it's a pretty for a kid, it's a pretty intense book cover. It's like,
Exactly.
you
I
know,
scared them. I'm sorry,
yeah.
I scared you guys. Um, but yeah, that was cool because, and it's a bummer that it was at the end because
Mhm.
uh, I would have done more things like that. And you said, like, what did I learn from it? I think I would have done a little bit more extreme stuff like that.
Okay.
Or at least try to push it that way and do something a little bit not so straightforward and kind of, you know,
Mhm.
like. but yeah, so that's a really good question. I think, and that's when I think about the Goosebumps book, it was challenging, but I loved it in the end, and I think I would have done more of it. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
What do you wish you had known at the start of your career that would have saved you your time or stress?
Oh man, I know at the start of what I would love to know. Um, man, probably I think probably that even as bad as the work you're doing at the time you think it is, you can always save it. My brother taught me that actually when we were, and this just sounds a really weird kind of answer to that question, but
Okay.
I remember when I was younger and I would draw something and I'd get really frustrated and I'd get all mad and kind of tear it up and he'd like, whoa, wait, we can fix it. It's okay, we can fix it. And I think if I at the beginning, if somebody said, if you just stick with it, you can get, and I did this actually did do this with my daughter when she was little and she was drawing. I would say, just stick with it. It will get better. You'll finally get to the point where you'll like what you're doing.
Thanks.
And instead of just chucking it and going, I'm not going to do this anymore. If you do stick with it, it eventually gets better. All things will pass, as they say.
Yeah,
Even
that's what
bad stuff.
I tell my kids all the time. I go, every problem has a solution.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
You just
Exactly.
got to kind of go with that mindset, and like it might be bad now, but there's always an answer to
Yeah.
everything. So kind of
Yeah.
take it
Yeah.
easy, kid. Chill.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
knocking on the door when I'm asking you not
That's
to.
great advice. I
Yeah.
like that advice.
Yeah.
Everything is going to work out. It's all
Yeah.
good.
I got two more questions, but I do have, as we talked earlier, I do have a book here. If
Okay.
you can kind of go through maybe your design on the book, on maybe the colors you picked, why you chose this, and maybe if you had different ideas for this. This one is Escape from Horror House.
Yep.
The only one I have, because like I said before, these books are hard to find. Uh,
Yeah.
can you tell me a little bit about this, the design? If you remember too much of when they,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it was based on something that Tim did, a previous book, I'm pretty sure. And that actually I don't know, this is now you're bringing back memories. I think, uh, I just wanted to make a spooky looking house that looked like a face and teeth and all of that stuff. And
So
that's kind of
I
where,
thought you were going with because it looks like to me like the Amityville horror, like the house.
yeah.
It
Oh,
kind
that
of
movie
looks like
scared
that.
me too.
Yeah,
That scared me
exactly.
to death.
So that's
Um,
where I thought you were going with.
yeah, I probably, yeah, that's all that stuff scared me to death. Um, and then as far as the colors are concerned, we just kind of went with a nighttime thing, and then I thought, well, it'd be cool to have the yellow. So you
Yeah,
could see the shadows are purple for the house, and then the yellow of maybe like moonlight or something hitting it from one side or the other. So yeah,
yeah,
cool.
excellent, man. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's a
Thanks,
all right,
thanks.
man. I almost got you through here because I have a challenge for you after this. Okay.
Oh
Here we
boy.
go. Um, how can you tell young illustrators best stand out in an incredibly increasing crowded market? What can you, what's your best advice to give them?
Man, there's so many beautiful artists out there. I mean, just it is, and I think that the any advice I would give to somebody is don't let other people's artwork intimidate you to not doing it. Um, just keep doing what you love to do, and if something inspires you, you know, let it affect your work in a positive way. Try not to copy anybody, but if you see something that somebody's doing that's really cool, and I think, as long as it's from you and it's what you love, it'll stand out. And ooh, sorry. Um
I see him in
yeah, he's like,
the
hey.
back.
Anyways, I think that my advice would be to just in order to stand out, just do something you love. And I tell it to my daughter too all the time. I'm like, don't do what everybody's doing, just do what you love and it'll shine. And then and always be observing other people's artwork, observing the world. And if you can draw, draw, as much as you can. I wish I drew more. I don't. I'm this having this whole community embrace my work has been a great excuse for me to get back to drawing.
That's
So it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. And yeah, that's the only advice I would give is just do what you love and people will notice it. Yeah.
That's awesome. And especially, I mean, look at, your daughter. She took up for
Yeah.
like the reins and is doing exactly. So you had a tremendous impact on her to actually have her, go down this career. How proud are you of that? That's cool,
I'm I'm proud papa, yeah, for sure.
man.
Yeah. It's amazing. She could do anything she wants. She's super smart.
Mhm.
But she's going to Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, which is up north of us, maybe a couple hundred miles. And she's going to be in graphic design, but she's a great illustrator as well. She
Awesome.
can draw stuff. And my agent's actually kind of trying to get her to do some book cover work. So hopefully be seeing her work soon.
So
So
there you go. Look at
yeah,
that. That's awesome, man. That's
I
cool
know, I
to
know.
pass down. Is it a trait or it's just it's skill? What is it? What do you think? A little bit of both?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think, yeah, somebody asked me that not too long ago. They were like, "Do you think it's hereditary or if it's,
Mhm.
it's in you?" And I think probably, but also it has to be nurtured by people around you. I think, you have to first you have to have the interest, and then secondly, you have to get confirmation and praise by people around you to kind of
Of course,
encourage
the
you to
ego,
keep
right?
pursuing it, right? Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think it's kind of like, a lot of things in life, you're born to do, right? Some people are
Yeah.
like born, like Eddie Van Halen's born to be a guitar player. Like that's it. Like there's nothing else this guy probably would have done. Um, and I think probably that's true for a lot of people, where this is the thing you were meant to do. But then there's also, people that are good at it and they just enjoy it, just having fun with it. So yeah. So
Well, absolutely, man. Well, Craig, before I let you go, man, okay, I want to
oh
do
yeah.
here we go. Do you have paper? Do you have a pen on you? Do you any of that? I mean, you are in the office
I
right now.
imagine I can
I
find a
mean,
piece of
you are
paper
an
and a
illustrator.
pencil.
I'm assuming you have that even in the kitchen.
I'm surrounded by digital pens. I'm kidding. I'm surrounded by pens that I'm sure I can find a piece. Oh, look, here's a piece
Okay.
of paper right here.
There we go. There we go. Okay, I wanna do a little challenge,
Oh
from
dear.
illustrator and artist to Joe Schmo over here. I want maybe a 2 minute timed drawing. Now, I don't know if you want to get into details or just be like, hey, something Halloween themed, and then kind of go from there. And we have to draw something within that 2 minutes. I'll mark it down. I'll show you so I won't cheat. And then we stop and then we show each other the picture just for the audience. I think it'll be fun. What do you think?
I think it sounds like a great idea.
All
You're going to be
right.
sorely disappointed on my end, I'm
No.
sure of it.
All right. Let's go. Let's start. Let's try to get a grad. Okay, so let's do since it's September, it's spooky season, goosebumps. Let's do uh something that has to do with Halloween. How's that? Is that a
Okay.
little too vague or is that
No, that's good.
all right. So is 2 minutes good or do we do a minute or we do 3 minutes? 2 minutes
I'm
is
gonna need an hour. So I'm gonna get the airbrush cooking. We'll get some paints out
uh,
and
all right.
no, whatever you want, whatever you want. We can do
I
2 minutes.
think 2 minutes is a decent, right? I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
I'm no artist. I did drawing in 30 seconds, but you saw how it came out. So
I
we're gonna
love it.
we're gonna do 2 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna hold it like this. All
Okay.
right. And then we're gonna do it. All right, man.
Oh no, I'm so nervous now. You just like I'm really nervous.
All right, here we go. In three, two, one, let's go. All right, here we go.
Oh
All
my
right, here we
God.
go. It is happening.
Halloween themed. All right.
Halloween themed. Let's
I'll
see.
give it a shot.
Yeah, me too. Here it is. Okay, all right. Oh, okay. We're coming up to about a minute.
Oh boy, already? Oh no.
We're about 42 seconds in. All right.
Oh,
We're not too bad. All right.
oh, I'm so nervous. I've never been put on the spot like this.
Oh no, this is supposed to come out a lot better. All right. That came out not okay. Now we have a minute. All right, Craig.
Oh
We
no.
got
I gotta draw really fast.
we got a minute, man. That's it. Oh,
Oh no.
let's see.
This is so bad. I haven't finished it.
Let's see. Okay. 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 We got 30 seconds.
So uncool.
Oh no, this is all
Oh,
right. 15 seconds. All right, Craig. No pressure.
oh no, this looks so bad.
We got 5 seconds. Here we go. Uh-oh. Let's see.
Oh no.
All right. All right. All right. Let's drop it. Oh man, this is hideous. All right.
No, it can't be. Can't
Yeah.
be as bad as mine.
All right. I'm gonna show you something. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I kind of cheated, Craig. I kind of used the Batman and I just added a haunted house.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Those are supposed to be bats. They came out. They look terrible, but
I
and
love
yeah,
them. They're
that's it.
flying. Yeah, they're good. I
There it
love
is.
it.
That's it. All right. Go ahead.
Awesome.
Let's
Oh no,
see.
mine's so bad. I'm like, all I get, I panicked. So you're gonna get what I panicked about. It was just,
Oh,
oh no, how can I get light on this? Hold on.
you said that was bad. That's awesome.
Oh man, I can't. It won't focus for some reason or another.
There
Sorry
we
about
go.
that.
Get a little bit closer. Yeah, that looks. Yeah. Wow. You did that in 2 minutes.
Oh, that's pretty awful. Oh my God, he looks bad. I
No,
can't do it. I like yours. Yours is
I,
awesome.
I think you won. I think you, but I
Uh,
love it. That was
well,
awesome, man.
you're gonna have to send me that. I'll send you mine. You send me yours.
I got you, man. I got you. Where do you want my name? Right here or on Batman?
You put it wherever you want. You got
Uh,
to put him a Titans shirt on though.
yeah,
That you
and
know.
maybe that's what I'll do. I'll put, the Titans and stuff like that. But Craig, it's been a pleasure, man. I had a great time
Oh, me too. Me
talk
too.
with you, man.
Yeah.
Um,
Alex, thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. You great questions too, man.
I
I'm really
appreciate it.
stumped.
I
Oh, it's
appreciate
good.
that. I want to say thank you for all your hard work that you did and that you have
Oh,
been doing.
thanks,
Like I
man.
said, your cover art has been like etched into my childhood, and like I said, I try to, have my kids read the books. Like I said before, the
Cool.
Goosebumps, Give Yourself Goosebumps is the one that Ian kind of gravitates
Yeah,
towards.
that's cool.
But yeah, man, I thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
welcome anytime. It's been a pleasure, Alex. Really, really. Been great. Been great.
All right. Well, you have a good one, all right, buddy?
Thanks, you too. You
Have a good
too.
one,
And
buddy.
I'll sign this and I'll fix it, then I'll sign it and I'll send it to you. How about
That
that?
sounds great, buddy.